Hi, I'm Mr. Franklin, and welcome to Curriculum Night. And this is Conceptual Physics. Using the Next Generation Science Standards, we follow the three-course model, and we use the standards for physics of the universe for this course. We teach physics to freshmen, chemistry to sophomores, and biology to juniors. So I am a United States Air Force Academy graduate. This is my wife from the Philippines and my daughter with autism. And we both have very interesting birthdays. So I've lived all over the world, done all kinds of really cool and crazy things. I flew a specialized C-130 that refueled helicopters with special operations for about 10 years. I taught chemistry and physics at Roosevelt High School in Texas for about 8 years. While I was there, I got my master's in educational leadership and got my principal certification in Texas. I also now have my principal certification in California. I had some GI Bill available, and I went and got my second master's. I got an MBA, but I had to come out here to California to do that. So when I finished that, I was ready to get back in the classroom and be with students. And so I started teaching at Steele Canyon in January of 2008. I do love culture. I love language. I took Spanish in high school, and then I decided to take Arabic in college. I actually speak Tagalog quite a bit at home. Every country I've been to, I've tried to learn something, and it's a hobby, and it's a lot of fun learning languages. With that said, I do understand what it's like because science is a new language to all of us. And so I hope that gives me a little insight and understanding into your students' perspective in this class. Physics. Most people, when they hear that word, they get nervous. And what's the first word out of our mouth? Our first, it might be, if it's not our first, it's our second thought, and it's math. I don't like math. I don't like physics. It was hard. And that's probably the last thing you get. This course is not that course. This course is, can they really understand what the physics is? Brief overview of the course. In this course, we have started scientific method. Probably the really big thing that we are hitting hard on is hypothesis, data, and analysis. And then we're actually going to output restating the claim. What is the claim that we're going to make based on this experiment? What does the evidence say? And what is our reasoning behind it? So hypothesis, data, analysis, claim, evidence, reasoning is probably a cornerstone to this course. Then we're going to get into force and motion. We're going to talk about Newton's laws, constant motion, where things are going at constant speed without changing their motion. Then we're going to get into motion that changes, and then we'll talk about gravity. At the end of this quarter, there will be a quarter project. I'm calling it right now, Talk About TED. They're going to take a TED Talk about science, and we're going to have students watch a few of those and evaluate them based on hypothesis, data analysis, claim, evidence, reasoning that's being presented in the TED Talk. Quarter two, we're going to talk about force and interaction, multiple forces. This is usually where students have the most struggle. But then we will jump into energy and talk about potential energy, kinetic energy, work, heat, all different types of energy, and the underlying principle, the conservation of energy. This is really important. We will do a basic look into electromagnetism and the atom. So we will have covered gravity, and now we will have covered electromagnetism, and we will see the connections between those two and discuss when we see patterns, what that means. So once again, we're evaluating what this information actually tells us. We will talk about the nature of waves, and we'll also talk about star formation and the beginning origins of the universe, and continuing our discussion on evidentiary standards and those kinds of things. This is not 100% hard and fast, but there will be a quarter two project, but they will have to show us somehow in a creative way what they are thinking about someone else's ideas. The most important thing you're probably interested in as parents is assignments and grades. How are we going to do that? All right, assignments and grades. So for assignments, everything is done through Canvas. Everything is organized via modules. And I'm going to give you a short tour at the end of this video just to show you where some of these things are in Canvas. But if there's ever a question, go to the module and look for the assignment there. Grades. So grades should also be posted in a gradebook, in the Canvas gradebook. I am grading, looking for a demonstration of learning. What does that actually mean? I'm going to allow resubmission of work. So if a student gets 8 out of 10 points and they want to make the corrections that I asked them to make, I'm willing to give them up to full credit, because when we make mistakes and then correct those mistakes, that's when we actually learn something. So that's the goal, is to learn. And that is kind of guiding my philosophy on late work. So there is no such thing as late work until the quarter ends. Once the quarter ends, then it's done. Okay, so students have up to the Thursday of the end of the quarter to turn stuff in for up to full credit. Now, I can promise you that's a lot of rope to hang yourself with. So do not wait that long. Really, in reality, the best thing is try not to get more than a week behind, because if you get more than that, then it gets very difficult to catch up. But it can be done. But yeah, so every week we post assignments by week. And so you should also be getting grades by the week. So by the end of the week, for the most part, you should be getting grades. Unless it's a major assignment, then it might take me a little longer to get those grades out. But try to stay caught up. Missing work will go in as a 50%. So if anything is not turned in, we put it as a 50%, with the idea that the range for an A is 90 to 100, the range for a B is 80 to 90, and the range for a C is 70 to 80. So the D should be 60 to 70, and the F should be 50 to 60. So we're hopeful that will encourage students to work on getting stuff turned in. The bottom line, though, is at any time, if you are having a trouble, have a question on a grade, an assignment, the best way to contact me is through email. You can message me through Canvas. That's hit or miss. I've got it all auto set up to auto forward to my email, but sometimes those don't always get through. So email. Make sure that you include what block you're in. It'll just help me find you faster, find your student faster, so that I can address your questions and concerns quickly. So speaking of getting help, the best time to get help is during class or during tutorial time. So last quarter tutorials ran a little differently than they do, or last term they ran differently than they do this term. So each block has an assigned tutorial time. So block one has a tutorial time of Tuesday and Thursday from 1:50 to 2:20. Virtual students have priority. However, anybody is welcome to join. So if you go to class that day, you have tutorials available that day. But let's say you're working on something on Wednesday and you have a burning question. If you will email me, I can send you the link to the Zoom and you can join me for tutorials on an off day. Okay. But you've got to email me that you want to join the tutorial time to get that help. Just know that if it's not a scheduled time, then anybody else who joins that's in that scheduled time is going to get priority over you. Okay. In general, though, tutorial times are usually light with the number of students. So for the most part, anybody's welcome. Just communicate with me that you're going to attend, especially if it's an off day, and we will get you the help you need. As far as signing into tutorial, go to the Zoom link and then look for the tutorial Zoom for your assigned day. So this is for block 1:50, and that's the tutorial link. But in anything, if you email me, you can get help. So, and I may just answer the question via email, or you can join the tutorial. You can also get help by joining CAVE. So CAVE appointments currently are available Mondays from 10 to 3 p.m. These are virtual appointments, and Zoom appointments are also available Tuesday through Friday from 12 to 3:30. You need to go to Calendly, so you should be able to use this link, or you can use the QR code to set up an appointment and attend the tutorial. Links are also on the Steel Canyon homepage. All right, let's jump into Canvas real quickly. Bottom line is, I am excited to have you in class. I'm excited to have your student in class. If you have any questions or concerns at all at any time, email is the best way to get a hold of me. So if you have any questions or concerns, email me and I will get back to you. Here's my email address again. All right. I hope you have a great night and I wish you the best school year and best term here in physics.